Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are welcome to another chemistry class for the fourth week. Today we shall discuss the topics efflorescent, deliquescent, and hygroscopic substances. Efflorescence is a phenomenon whereby some crystalline salts or is a phenomenon whereby some hydrated salts lose part or all of its water of crystallization when they are exposed to atmosphere to form a lower hydrated or anhydrous salt. The substances that can exhibit this phenomenon is known as efflorescent. It means a crystalline salt or hydrated salt is also known as efflorescent because these efflorescent substances, when they are exposed to the atmosphere, they lose parts or all of its water of crystallization, and the phenomenon is known as efflorescence. For example, copper 2 tetrasulfate 6 pentahydrate, when exposed to the atmosphere or when exposed to air, it loses 5 molecules of water of crystallization to leave anhydrous salt of copper 2 tetrasulfate 6. So all the crystalline salts or hydrated salts, whenever they are exposed to air, they lose part or all of water of crystallization, and the phenomenon is known as efflorescence. Other examples of efflorescent, or you call it hydrated salt or you call it crystalline salt, are sodium thiocarbonate 4 decahydrate, magnesium tetrasulfate 6 heptahydrate, and so on. Another phenomenon that we're going to look at under this is known as deliquescence. Deliquescence is a phenomenon whereby some salts absorb moisture or absorb water and eventually turn into solution when they are exposed to the atmosphere. A phenomenon whereby some salts, when they are exposed to the atmosphere, they absorb water and they eventually turn into solution. The substances that can exhibit this phenomenon are known as deliquescent. Deliquescent exhibit deliquescence. Deliquescence is the phenomenon, while deliquescent are substances that can exhibit a phenomenon known as deliquescence. Examples of deliquescent are sodium hydroxide. If you take a pellet of sodium hydroxide, you expose it to the air or to atmosphere for some time, there will be formation of solution. This sodium hydroxide will start turn into solution, or because they absorb water from the atmosphere and they now turn into solution. Other examples of deliquescent are potassium hydroxide, calcium chloride, iron 3 chloride, magnesium chloride, phosphorus 5 oxide, and silica gel. Deliquescent substances such as calcium chloride or silica gel is used to maintain dry atmosphere in the laboratory. That is, silica gel or calcium chloride can be used as drying agent for drying many gases in the laboratory. There's a third phenomenon that we're going to look at here, known as hygroscopy. Hygroscopic is a substance that exhibits hygroscopy. Hygroscopy is a phenomenon where some substances absorb water or absorb moisture without turn into solution when they are exposed to the atmosphere. Such substances that exhibit hygroscopy are known as hygroscopic substances. Hygroscopic substances, when they are exposed to the atmosphere, they absorb water without turn into solution. Examples of hygroscopic substances are calcium oxide, known as quicklime, concentrated tetraoxosulfaceous acid, copper 2 oxide, and sodium triisonitrate 5. Hygroscopic substances are commonly employed as drying agents in the laboratory because they absorb water without forming solution. So these are the three phenomena that normally exhibited by some salts. Now we talk about drying agents, or we call it desiccants. Drying agents, they are compounds used for drying. What is drying? Drying is the process by which water or moisture is removed from a substance without change in the chemical composition of that substance. If the removal of water from a substance without changing the chemical composition of that substance, that process is known as drying. The substance that have strong affinity for moisture used in drying gases in the laboratory is known as drying agent. It means the compounds or the substances that we normally use for drying gases in the laboratory are called drying agents because they are used because they have strong affinity for water. Whenever they come in contact with a substance that contains water, they absorb water immediately without affecting the chemical composition of that substance. Drying agents may be either hygroscopic or deliquescent. The table below shows some common drying agents. Concentrated tetraoxosulfaceous acid is an example of drying agent. Can be used to dry all gases except ammonia. Another typical example of drying agent is fused calcium chloride. Please take note of this. Not ordinary calcium chloride, we call it fused or anhydrous calcium chloride. It's also used for drying all gases except ammonia. Calcium oxide, quicklime, suitable for ammonia in particular. Phosphorus 5 oxide is also used to dry all gases in the laboratory except ammonia, while silica gel is used for drying all gases, whether the gas is ammonia or any other gases. Silica gel is suitable for drying all gases. Note, a drying agent cannot be used if it will react with the substances to be dried. A drying agent cannot be used if it reacts with substance to be dried. For example, concentrated tetraoxosulfaceous acid cannot be used to dry ammonia since they react to form ammonium tetraoxosulfaces. If conc H2SO4 is used to dry ammonia gas in the laboratory, ammonia will behave like a typical base, while concentrated H2SO4 will behave like a typical acid. Instead of H2SO4, conc H2SO4 to dry ammonia, they will both undergo a neutralization reaction to form salt. So H2SO4 is not suitable for drying ammonia gas. Another note here, dehydration is different from drying. Dehydration is the process of removing of water or moisture from a substance which affects or which changes the chemical composition of that substances. So drying is a process of removing water or removal of moisture which does not affect the chemical composition, while dehydration is a process whereby moisture is removed from a substance and it will affect the chemical composition of that substance. Some common drying agents can also be used as dehydrating agents. For example, concentrated tertiary sulfatic acid can also serve as dehydrating agents. So this is where we're going to stop here. I want to advise you to check your portal for the 4th week assignment. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.